Okay. Thank you for your service. Hello and welcome along to another episode of Kianski Car Stories. In this episode, we are replacing the headliner in my 2009 Cayman. 11 years, 80,000 miles, it was done. So I'll show you all the steps required to replace it and then some of the mistakes I made to hopefully help you out. I made mistakes. So here's my situation. Fabric just decided it was tired and didn't want to headline anymore. To get started, the C-pillar and A-pillar trims need to come out. Okay, we're going to start off by taking this piece off the seat belt, and then that will give us access to the only torque screw that is holding down the C-pillar trim. So using a trim tool, going from the side, and start prying that up. Okay, now you have access to your T20. Next up is removing that cover right there. And then we need to separate the A-pillar from the C-pillar. Right now the C-pillar trim needs to come out and move that way because there's a tab that goes into this part, so you don't want to yank it out. Remember, there's a clip by the light. So as you can see, it takes a little bit of force. Alright, so in my case, unfortunately, this clip came off, so I'll have to glue that back on. And then here's the other one. Alright, now to take off the A-pillar trim. Instead of coming in from the inside, I think it might be easier if you remove the rubber seal, like so. And then you can kind of push in from this side. Alright, so we got 2 clips out, a couple more left. There's a tab at the end near the corner, so the A-pillar trim does need to move out and away from the front. And there we are. That is a big piece. The previous owner installed a microphone for the head unit, and so that's what this cable is for, in case you're wondering. Alright, here you can see the A and C pillar trims, and here are the 4 clips for the A pillar. Oh, take it back, there really should be 5. 1 missing right there, so that's probably still in the chassis. Yep. Alright, before we start tackling the trim pieces on the other side, we'll go ahead and take the sun visor off. So pull that out and lower that flat. And it's got a T20 holding that in. And then on the other side, this cover needs to pop off. And then that should expose another T20. Okay. Right, now we gotta take out the dome light and the garage door opener switch. Hey, I want to ask you to turn on. Okay. It's got 2 clips here on the back. It's Some tabs on this side. Looks like just a friction press fit connector. There we go. And last but not least, at this point, I just have to repeat everything on the right-hand side, so I'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll pick up from there. And we are back. The right-hand side came off pretty easily. No broken clips this time. Alright, now for the fun part. Everything else is removed. There are 2 clips holding it up right here, and then there's another clip in the back with Velcro. So we'll start with the front. There's one. And 2. Alright. Well, I am covered in headliner, so I'm gonna get out of here, pull it out from the back. So here's what it looks like with the headliner removed. Not sure why there's a cookie sheet in there. Seems like an odd place to put it, but if you know what that's for, definitely let me know. The 2 clips up front attached to those 2 slots. And in the back, you can see the 2 Velcro strips that got detached from the headliner, so I'll have to replace those. And then that plastic clip goes down the hole in the bottom. Don't know where it went. I heard it pop off. I even looked inside that hollow area and couldn't find it. So I will probably have to buy a new one. Here's what the back side of the headliner looks like. It's got that plastic structure to help keep its shape. One of the Velcro strips used to be right there, and then there's another one on the other side. And then that missing clip goes in a slot in that black piece right in the middle. On the back side, the fabric came up all the way to the edge and was cut flush. On the sides, looks like about 1 inch of overlap. And then on the front, about 1/2 inch right there. And here's a location for the 2 front clips. Okay, now we got the headliner out. Still bugs me that I can't find that clip. But let's go ahead and turn it upside down. And start peeling it off. It should be pretty easy. Yep. Okay, to get all the foam off, we're just going to use a steel brush, which, yeah, that'll work. Should I put on gloves? I should probably put on gloves. I'm gonna put on gloves. Back with gloves. I'm sure Chris and Alexis will be pretty excited about that. As you know, it's all about the prep, so I spent a good hour scraping away and vacuuming all the foam, and then I did a final pass with a damp microfiber towel. Looks good, yeah? As far as supplies are concerned, I got a can of Headliner Adhesive by 3M and a roller which should help prevent wrinkles, especially around the sun visor area. For the headliner material itself, you have many options. You can go with the OEM vinyl, you can step up to Alcantara, and for those who don't know, that's just the brand name of the synthetic suede-like material. I was thinking about doing that in a lighter color, but then you have to do the A-pillar and C-pillar and steering wheel and door cards, and it's a slippery slope and beyond the scope of what I'm trying to do. So I just went with a regular black suede, with a 1/8 inch foam backing that you can see here. I think this should work out nicely. I bought 2 yards of this for around $80. The adhesive was about 20, I think, and another 10 for the roller, so roughly $100 in material, and I'll put a link for all of these in the description below. Not sure how much this is going to stretch, so I'm going to leave a few inches extra and then I will cut accordingly. Now, there's definitely a lot extra with 2 yards, but not enough to do it twice. So I'm not sure if this is the best way to do it, but I also forgot to stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. What I've done is I have clips all along the back to prevent that from moving. And I'm thinking of unrolling it, applying adhesive to the foam and then the board itself, and then moving my way towards the front. The can says that you have 15 seconds to 30 minutes while it's tacky, but that's totally dependent on temperature and humidity. But basically it's not like crazy glue where you have to rush. So probably spray it on, give it a little bit of time, and then start moving forward. So that's the plan, let's see how that goes. And at least with this material, I've noticed that it does tend to crease easily if you bend it, so try to minimize that. That should get evened out once you apply it and use the roller. Here goes nothing. Definitely tacky. I'm not sure if that really was the best way. Maybe I should have stayed at a Holiday Inn Express. Oh no. Stretch it all the way around. So good news and bad news. Good news is I got the headliner on, got the edges tied down with clips, cut the holes for the various parts, and the front section looks pretty good. Bad news is in my quest to prevent creases, ended up with some wrinkles. As you can see, the adhesive kicked off way faster than I thought it would, and so I wasn't able to stretch it and get rid of them. Definitely recommend you do it in small sections, the flat portion, then the ramp, and maybe every 6 inches. And perhaps in a New England winter you wouldn't have this problem, but for my conditions that was the case. It also looks a lot worse now with it upside down and the light shining on it. I don't think it's going to be as bad once it's installed, so let's go ahead and do that. So here's a new headliner clip. I was never able to find the old one. I'm sure it'll pop up as soon as I'm done, but this one cost me $4. But get this, last week while I was searching for it, I was digging around under the seats, and guess what I found? $4! I'm gonna go ahead and replace the Velcro before reinstalling. Just realized that top part is not really stuck to the body. It's a plastic piece that is clipped in, and so no reason to really take that off. Just replace the Velcro on the headliner. And the last step before putting the headliner back on is replacing that loose wire loom tape for the dome light harness. That's just not going to work for me. Couple notes before showing you the final result. Don't forget to remove the foam residue from the back side of the headliner. And some of you may have noticed while I was struggling to get the C-pillar off, I snapped that upper web in the corner there, and you know, the part had some scratches and whatnot that I didn't really like, and so I found a used one off eBay. But it looks like that person also struggled removing it as the clip had broken off, so I used a little bit of epoxy to put that back on, and all is swell. And here we are, so much more headroom now. Not a perfect installation, but for my first attempt, I'm pretty happy with it. Especially in the front by the dome light and garage door opener, since that's really the only part of the headliner that you interact with. And thanks to 3M, this headliner isn't going anywhere, even as this Cayman approaches ludicrous speed.